So everyone wants to grow beyond, unlock their potential, and be their best self. On a mission to guide others to do the same, we have with us Mr. Nimish Ramesh sir. Nimish sir is an engineer and an MBA turned senior HR professional, author, and a life coach. Sir is a corporate trainer, author of the book Potential Plus, and a motivational speaker. He is currently heading the HR activities for Cummins Electronics and Fuel Systems Pune plant. Nimish sir is an alumnus of a Symbiosis Center for Management and Human Resource Development, backed by his bachelor's in Fibers and Textiles Processing Technology from the prestigious Institute of Chemical Technology, Mumbai. Nimish sir has dedicated his life to make people realize that they can be much more than what they already are. Sir strongly believes that all the power and answers lie within ourselves. It is just a matter of taking that leap of faith and sprinting into action. We are honored to have you, sir, with us today. We welcome you, sir. I give this over to Nimish Ramesh, sir, to guide our students.
Thank you so much for the warm welcome, and I really appreciate the efforts taken by your team. And it's really a pleasure for me to address such a large audience. And of course, I didn't know it was a Facebook Live. So thank you so much for the warm welcome. So I hope everybody are safe, sound, healthy, and happy at this point of time. People, please take care of yourselves. We are all responsible for our own safety and well-being. So before beginning, I'll just start talking about how this topic came into a picture. So me and Shrikant were discussing about what could we talk about in this session. So as most of y'all are students here and will be getting new into the corporate world. So how exactly what points should y'all keep in mind while transitioning from college to a corporate life? What skills really matter, right? And how can we differentiate between our personal and professional lives? Is there an overlap between them? So keeping all these points in picture, we came up with this topic, and I hope I'll do justice to it. And I'll just go ahead with, I've just made a small presentation and I'll go ahead with this. So as Srinivas addressed in the beginning, my name is Nimish. I'm a son of two lovely parents. I'm a brother of a beautiful independent woman. I'm an engineer turned MBA turned senior HR professional turned author and life coach. And my mission in life is to help people realize and achieve their true potential and be their best selves. Now, what was this? What was it that I just said right now? This is something called as an elevator pitch. Now, since you're all students here, this elevator pitch is really important for you to tell who you are, what you do, and what you want to achieve. These are the three most important things that you'll need to keep in mind, because you never know whom you all will bump into in the corporate, and you really don't know who will be of use to you or who will, really has the power to uplift your career at that point of time. So this is something called as the elevator pitch. Now, throughout this session, I would just want you all to think about what could be done, what points could be there in your elevator pitch. So what it should be mainly, who you are currently. Apart from your work, who you are. What you're currently doing. What value you're bringing onto the table. And third point is what you want to achieve. Who you are, what you do, and what you want to achieve. These are the three main blocks of your elevator pitch. Okay. So you all may just want to write these points down while I just go about it. Have the elevator pitch ready. All right. So before I just again go through the session, there's some just ground rules. Everybody, please keep your videos on. So I'm somebody who normally does not speak on stage, but I'm amongst the audience there so that I can have a pulse about the reactions of the audience. So we all know we are in the virtual world right now, and I just wish everybody all the best. And I really want you guys to switch on your videos so that I really know whom I'm talking to and what are the reactions that I can personally get from you guys. So please switch on your videos, everybody. And please give reactions. It's there in the Zoom software. So please use these reactions so that I really understand that I'm not talking to walls here. I'm talking to humans, and the reactions will give me all the more insights about what I'm trying to talk about, and I'll really understand the pulse of the audience that I'm reaching out to. And if there are any questions, please use the chat section so that I really know you all are listening to me and you're not bored. Finally, if somebody does not want to attend the session, I really don't mind, because it's your choice, it's your decision. All I want you all to do here is have an open mind. Okay, for this session, have an open mind. Forget about whether size matters or no. Forget about whether age is just a number or no. Forget about who is stronger, males or females. Just have an open mind before you all come into this session. Okay, so let's go ahead. Now, no matter what, okay, in your lives, no matter what stage you're in, whether you're working for somebody or you're running a business, never forget this one thing. Never forget to follow your passion. Now, the problem with us is, our generation is, most of us really don't know what our passion is. We have been conditioned in such a way throughout our childhood, and that's absolutely fine. All you got to do is start exploring right now for those who really do not know what your passion is. Because unless you do something that you really love doing, you won't be actually giving your best to anything in your life. That amounts to other areas of your life as well. So always, you don't need to do it full time. Just do something for yourself, because passion is something that gives you joy for yourself or by serving others. So no matter what happens in your life, always follow your passion. So there are two options here. You either do what you love or you love what you do. Okay. So this is something that all of y'all should keep in mind. No matter what, always follow your passion. I'll give you my example. So I did my engineering from UD Mumbai, and I did my MBA from same HRD. It's a part of Symbiosis University, and currently a senior HR professional. I'm a sports enthusiast. I really love playing table tennis. I've represented the state as well. So this is something that I really crave for, and this is a game that can be played during COVID times also, provided it's there somewhere in somebody's house. Okay. So this is how much I love the sport table tennis, and I'm huge fans of Ma Long and Shu Shin. So that's about my passion, my hobbies, something that I really love doing. And I generally happen to be an outgoing person, adventurous person. So I found my true purpose in life after my cycle journey. Now I'll tell you how this all unfolded. So I happened to be in a family gathering with close family relatives and family friends as well. And suddenly a thought popped up my mind. I was like, I want to cycle from Mumbai to Pune. This is what I said. And the moment I said that, everybody pounced at me at that point of time. Like, are you mad? How can you even think about it? Going from a particular place in Mumbai to Pune. I mean, it's at least 100-kilometer journey, and the Ghat section, everything, everybody pounced at me. So when I was at that situation, that point of time, I did not say anything to anybody. I just went back home that particular night, and I was wondering as to why did people say that. And then I jotted down all the obstacles that were there for me that could prevent me from taking on this journey. And I realized there are only two things. You just need to have a stable mind, mental stability, and you need to have a good physical body. Safety, of course, it is there, but that much amount of risks, I think you all take every day in your lives. So what did I do? I prepared my body, I prepared my mind, and I gave myself 3 months of time. I was ready for this journey. It was a 120-kilometer journey. I started from a place in Navi Mumbai, and voila, this was my journey. It was a breathtaking journey. I really, really enjoyed it, and I did what I love doing. And I assured my parents that no matter what, I know if there is something, I'll come back. Can I take an auto? I'll take a cab and I'll come back. Okay. So that's the assurance that I gave my parents. But what I'm trying to say here is the magic happened the next day after I completed this journey. What happened here was the very same friends and family members who pounced at me at that point of time, they started going for morning jogs. They started going to hit the gym. And then I wondered, if I can inspire, motivate people unknowingly, why don't I do something knowingly? Right? So this is how my journey began. And then I became a senior HR professional. Why? Because being an HR, the prime responsibility of an HR personnel is to ensure that all the employees are in a happy state. Now, if your employees are happy, if your internal customers are happy, you don't need to worry about your external customers. Everything will be taken care of. Then I decided to become a coach so that I could really understand the mind behind people not doing some things or doing some things. Now, you definitely might have come across somebody whom you think has great potential, but you just cannot make it forward, right? And you think, ये बंदे को marks ही नहीं मिलता है कभी, इतना होशियार है. So why does this happen? So I just wanted to get in the depth of it and just tap on that one area which could, just go ahead and they could just overcome that and achieve their true potential. And then I wrote a book so that my message can reach out to the maximum of people. So this is my story. So my point here is, whatever happens in your life, do not do something that gives you joy, because you spend maximum amount of time with yourself. All right. So let's talk about the corporate world now. Now that was my story, and let's talk about the corporate world. Now we all know that we live in a VUCA world right now. What does VUCA stand for, if you ask me? You all might be reading papers and all those, research papers, and you are doing various projects as well. So VUCA stands for how the world today is volatile. It's uncertain, it's complex, it's ambiguous. Now, the message that I want to give you all here through this slide is that it's a great opportunity for all of you. Because at this point of time, with COVID in picture, even leaders of many companies are not sure about what is the way ahead. Now, one leadership trait is that leaders are supposed to be visionary. But nobody, envisioned this COVID situation a year ago, right? So no leader had envisioned that. So at this point of time, everybody are leaders here, everybody. And the points that you get across to the management while you all, switch to the corporate sector, they will be more than willing to listen to your points, to your views, because it may be something different, which may be beneficial to the organization. Right now, the organization is all ears to what inputs they can get from anywhere. It doesn't matter from where, but they just want input so that they can try and incorporate the same thing in their business. So this is the world that we live in. And the moment you think that jobs are not available outside, you're wrong. Jobs are available outside. Now, why am I saying this? Now, imagine a company is not doing well, it laid off people, all right? Now you go forward to that company and then you say that you have particular amount of skill sets that can help you revive your business. Won't the company take you? A simple question. Won't the company take you at that point of time? They are bound to take you because you are somebody who can help them revive their business. So there is nothing like scarcity of jobs or something. It's just a mindset issue that people will have. And the people who have been laid off, those jobs can be done by somebody else or not required, or can be done by a robot. So what extra do you bring to the table is what matters. And if they are convinced, you will definitely get a job. So let's talk about the differences between college and corporate life. Okay, now, you guys may be in the second or third or fourth year of your college. So you all do projects, you all do case studies. So the practicality part in your college is, around 25%. But in corporate, it's 100% practical. Okay, you get paid for it. There's a limit to the amount of performance that you can give in a college because it's mainly based on grades. Whereas in corporate, it's not like that. There's no limit to your excellence. Whatever you want to do, you're most welcome to do, provided it's in line with company's objectives. Point number 3, you can survive alone in college, but in corporate, you can't survive alone. There will be no job in corporate which will not involve another fellow human being. So here, team management is very important. You may be skillful, you may be technically very sound, but if you cannot handle a team, or if you cannot handle another colleague of yours, if you'll have different point of views and you're not able to go forward with differential point of views, then it'll be a nuisance for everybody, including yourself as well. So you'll need to learn the art of soft skills, and that is a trend going forward. Going forward, negotiations, time management, your soft skills, in terms of your non-verbal communication, these are the things that will matter a lot in the long run, because you have all the technology in front of you. You have Google. Will technical skills help at that point of time? Anybody can learn. Anybody can learn anything. Everything is available in Google. So this is the one thing that I would want all of you all to take note of. Okay? You can't survive alone in a corporate sector. You need to talk to people. You need to involve people. In fact, for that matter, any work that you do in your life will involve another fellow human being. Any work. Okay, in college is something that lays the foundation of who you are, and corporate is something that builds your career. Now, why does a company have mission, vision, and values? So that the company knows where it's going, and the how part is defined by the value system. Now, every individual also have their certain set of value systems. And when the individual's value system matches with that of the corporate, then they do really well in that corporate setup. You talk about assessment tests being done, personality assessment tests being done, psychometry. So you all don't need to fake anything in psychometry. Just mark whatever questions you feel is right for you, whatever answer you feel is right for you for that particular question, mark that. You all do not need to fake it. Why? Because the corporate makes their certain standard sets of psychometric, and they are aligned to certain value system. And when you fake it, you will fake your value system personally. And when you fake your value system, it will not be in sync with company's value system, and you won't be able to do well. For example, if integrity is the value system of your company, and you by nature are very integral to yourself and your teammates, and you go to the outside, you go to external customers, and then you give them the product on time with the required quality. All right. So at this point of time, what will the customers tell you? This man is truly somebody who always sticks to his words. He is full of integrity. Now, won't that customer refer you to other people, other potential customers? And wouldn't your customer be a long-term customer of yours for your business? So this is what I mean by having similar value systems for both yourself and the company. So never fake your psychometric tests. Let's go ahead, moving on. Interviews. Now I've spoken about the difference between college and a corporate setup. Interviews. So when you ask somebody like, how are we supposed to face interviews? And the normal answer that people get here is, you need to be yourself. But what exactly it means when you need to be yourself, right? I mean, did anybody tell you? I mean, what does it mean exactly be yourself? I'll try to explain that with an example. Now, when you walk into a room, now everybody are nervous in the beginning of the interview when they walk into the room, and you have recruiters taking your interview at that point of time. At that point of time, when the recruiter asks you, hi, welcome, so and so, whatever the name is, and so are you a little nervous? And then you'll be like, no, I'm not nervous. When in fact you are nervous. So that is what being yourself actually means. If you're nervous, say you're nervous, because everybody have been there. Even the recruiters have been on the other side at some point of time in their lives, and everybody are bound to be nervous at that point of time. So just acknowledge your feelings. Just know what the value, know your senses. Be aware of how your senses are at that point of time. When you be aware of yourself, that is the time when you are aware of your senses, that is the time you're aware of yourself as to who you are. So that is what exactly means when somebody says be yourself in an interview, which is a cliched statement according to me. So in our interviews, your attitude determines the direction of the interview. Now, by attitude, I mean I've spoken about this before. Technical skills can be learned, but attitude is something is gradually dealt with over the years of your life, and you develop your attitude. Skills can be learned. It's a temporary thing. Anybody can learn a skill. I said Google is a beast. It has everything. You can learn everything from anywhere in any setup. So the direction of your interviews, your attitude is what determines the direction of your interviews. Focus on the softer aspects. And what matters here is what do you bring to the table, especially at this point of time. What different are you willing to the table? What different are you willing to do for your organization? These are the talks, these are the conversations where you need to drive the interview towards. How are you different from others? Why should we hire you? Just a tip here: the moment you align your work with the corporate values, that is the time when company really loves the way the interviews are going. And each interview is different, each recruiter is different, there are varying factors, but the prime factor here is what different you bring to the table. Interviews हो गया, उसके बाद क्या होता है? Job. You get a job, then what do you do on the first day, first week of your job? Now these are the points that I want you all to take note of. Okay? First day of your job, it's okay to be anxious. All right, it's completely okay. People are nervous. People do not know where to go, what to do, whom to talk to. Boss karna kya hai? All right, so it's completely okay. Just let people know that you're new into the system. Can you just guide me towards how this thing works, or where is the cafeteria? Just have a normal conversation with people. Just start a conversation. It's completely okay to be anxious, and it's okay to make mistakes. Now, all successful people in their lives, there's one thing in common. They've all made blunders. But it's good to make blunders sometimes, because without failures, you really won't have anything to learn about. All right. Unless you make mistakes, you won't know the loopholes that could be there in your work. And the only thing you're not supposed to do here is make the same mistake twice. If you make the same mistake twice, then it's something that the company will look at. But it's completely fine if you make mistakes. Make hundreds of mistakes. No problem. That's the way you learn. That's the way you get up again. Ask questions. You're supposed to ask questions day in and day out. If you feel by asking questions you will look stupid in front of people, so be it. Because 99% of the times, the questions that you're asking, the whole group won't know about the answer. And actually, nobody even thought about the question that you're asking. So please ask questions. It's a great thing to have. Once you ask, so I read somewhere that if you ask questions, that's the time you increase your knowledge. And people who think they know everything and they don't ask questions, there's no scope for improvement over there. So always ask questions. Next point is be a good listener, especially at the beginning of your career. Okay, when you don't know things, be a good listener. Now you will have colleagues who will just share everything about themselves to you, their personal lives, their professional lives. Now if you have time, please listen to them. Not an issue at all. But if you don't have time, there's something to be submitted urgently, just be a little polite and tell them, let's have a chat after office hours. I'll be there for how much ever time you need me. Now, by saying that, you empathize with the person in front of you. You empathize with the person in front of you, and they will feel belong to themselves in the organization. And then next, whenever you have some work and you ask them for a favor, they will come running and do the job for you. So these are the few things that you'll need to keep in mind once you'll have a job. All right. It's okay to be anxious. Be yourself. It's cliched, but be yourself. It's okay. Make mistakes. Ask questions. Be a good listener and empathize. Okay. One tip about being a good listener is always speak in the end. This is what Nelson Mandela's father had told him. Nelson Mandela, we all know how a great leader he was. And the one thing he always did was speak in the end. Now, why? Because when you let others speak, you're giving respect to them. And when you speak in the end, you have a greater base to act upon, to ask questions, to take the conversations going. So that's one tip for you. Speak in the end if you want to be a good listener. Now, this is something called as networking. It's a bomb. Okay. The batch that you're in right now, please ensure you're in touch with this batch, because networking is going to be of immense use in your future everywhere. The more you talk to people, the more you have connect with people, the more beneficial it will be for you, because you never know where you will come across that person, at what stage of your life when you're in need, or anything can happen. So having a good network is really, really important. It's a bomb. Now, have you noticed somebody that, ye banda kaam hi nahi karta hai, fir bhi, how does he, get recognized for the work that he's doing? I've never seen that particular person work. You will definitely come across such people in corporate where you feel that person does not deserve promotion, but that person will get a promotion. Now, he's given a particular job. You have never seen him do that job, but he's actually doing that job through his network. And that is completely fine. So this is the importance of networking. Now, if you have a strong network, you can make the work, you can do the work by delegating it upwards, by delegating it downwards, by delegating it to your peers, but you get the work done. So what matters to the company? Do you finish the work, or are you supposed to do the work? So having a good network is really important, because your network defines your net worth, right? So this is what you're supposed to do in the job. Let's come to financials. Okay, so this is something that many people do not come across early in their lives, but this is something that I want everybody to take a close look at. The day you get placed, the day you start your job, start saving at that point of time, because the power of compounding is immense. Let's take this scenario that I have presented here in front of you all. If you have an investment of only 5,000 per month, all right, if you start now, after 30 years, it will amount to 1.77 crores. But you really enjoyed, your time, you went for parties, and you did not invest for the first 3 years. 56 lakh is the amount of money that you could potentially lose if you start investing 3 years later. What happens 5 years later? Instead of starting at 25, you started at 30. You lose 82 lakhs. And then if you start after 10 years at 35, you will lose 1.27 crores potentially. That's the amount, that's the power of compounding. And I'm just talking about 5,000 per month. You can easily save 5,000 per month. Instead of going out once a week, go out once in 2 weeks. Let's start. Let's start small, but let's start. So this is something that I want all of you all to take note of. Financials, because you never know when you'll need the money that you're accumulating. All right. So this is about financials. So I'll just summarize whatever I've spoken till now. Until now, are there any questions? You all can type in the chat box, give reactions. Are there any questions? If we can go ahead, please let me know. We'll go ahead.
I think, Nimish sir, we can take the questions at the end of the session.
At the end of the session. Okay.
Yeah.
Is there something somebody's wrote? Okay. Sir, I have a question. Yes, Rishabh, you can please ask me right now. Can somebody unmute Rishabh? Hello, can somebody unmute Rishabh?
Siddharth sir, the students cannot unmute themselves.
Yeah, I'm just checking it. Just a second.
Hello. Sir, am I audible?
Yes, you are audible.
Yeah,
Okay.
Rishabh.
Like how to overcome the saturation, like in every corporate life, once you enter into a project and you start working, so at a time there comes a situation where uh, someone can feel saturated, like same work, same monotonous work, same people, same everything is same after the 1 or 2 years of the life in corporate life. How to overcome that? Because we all know, like, we won't be getting that much variety of work every time, every 1 or 2 years. So either like people move towards switching the companies, that again is like not possible for everyone, and it gives a wrong indications on resume as well. So how to overcome that?
You tell me what could we do, or what do you think comes in your mind? The first thing that comes to your mind? What could you do? Now imagine you have a reportee. Okay, that reportee is doing the same monotonous work day in and day out, and that person is really fed up of the work that is given to them. What do you think that reportee would tell you? Rishabh, can you unmute yourself?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so sorry, I was put it on mute again. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, so see, either like if I would be a manager, I won't be able to give that much variety of work. Either I can switch teams, but again that won't make too much difference. So in that case, how, even for me as well, how I can put my how can boost up my morale?
Okay. So point number one, there are a lot of assumptions that you're currently having. So you remember I had mentioned during the initial part, ask questions. Okay. Now, if you are fed up of the monotonous work that you're doing, the way you're supposed to do is you ask questions to your boss. The way you're supposed to do it is just ask that particular person, whoever your boss is, that hi, so and so. So I've been doing this work for the past couple of years, and you can see my performance about how I'm dealing with it rightly. However, I think it's time that I really want to take extra responsibility by working on so and so project, because I'm sure after 2 years being in the company, you will have an interest in some other part. So be rest assured, I will do this over and above whatever I'm currently doing. And I would like to delve into this aspect of work as well. And I'm ready to collaborate with that team and support them in their activities. Now, you tell me, won't your boss allow you to do that?
Sir, if there is any scope of doing that, definitely they should allow me.
See, as a company, the company wants the work to be done. To be frank, okay, imagine you're running a business. Okay, if a person A is doing that particular job and if a person B is doing that particular job, how does it matter to you, whoever is doing, as far as you get the right results with quality and you're doing your work? So don't worry, companies are really understandable that way. They really cooperate. They're really cooperative that way. And if you assure them that you won't allow your current work to be hampered and you're ready to support in some other function, they will definitely do it. And talking about switching, that again, it looks bad in your CV. That's again an assumption. So I would just like to ask you to keep the assumptions aside and just do what you are really willing to do. I think, is that helpful?
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. So I'll just go ahead with the presentation. So in a nutshell, so whatever I have spoken right now, always keep learning. Okay, this is something. Now, if you are monotonous, and if, like just now Rishabh asked me this question, is fed up of doing that work, and if you're not learning, then you've practically stopped growing in your life. Now, there are many people who switched careers. They've gone from finance to HR to marketing to strategy, everything. Now, the moment you do this, you understand all the aspects of business here. Always keep learning. That's especially in this time, COVID time, you never know which particular job will get automated and that particular job will be void for a person to do it. So always keep learning, enhance your skills all the time, keep reading. That's the one thing that most successful people in their lives do. They just keep reading and anything and everything that comes in their play. But always keep learning. So there's one more thing that I would like to say. Why do people tell keep reading when you have the knowledge? Now, the moment you interact with people, okay, you express your emotions through words. Now, there are a lot of words that have emotions in them: happy, jealous, sad, exciting, exhilarating. These are some of the words, and people who are not synonymous with these words, they won't be able to convey the message forward to that particular person about how they are feeling. And if they are not able to project their emotions forward in a proper manner, the person in front of you will not be able to understand you. The person is not able to understand you, they won't be able to contribute much to you, or they won't be able to understand yourself better. So once you have the words with you to express the right emotions at the right time, what will happen? The management will be like, oh, this person really knows his stuff, because what you've done is through your words, you've expressed the right emotions, the right thought, the right message across to the other person. And that is why people say keep reading, because once you keep reading, once you're aware, listening to the language, you put across the right emotions at the right time, in the right space, in the right place. So point number one, always keep learning. Always invest in yourself as well. Take online courses, ask mentors. Now, why should you have a coach or a mentor in your life? You need to have somebody in your life who has a 30,000 feet view of who you are as a person. That is the importance of a coach and a mentor. Now, slight differences between a coach, mentor, a counselor, a teacher, a trainer. So a mentor is somebody who is an expert in a particular field that you are aspiring to go. Now, when you have a mentor in your life, that mentor can tell you, see, this is your career path and this is what you're supposed to do. If you take this step, if you take this point, it will be beneficial to you. That's how mentors are important. How are coaches important? Coaches are somebody who ask you questions and extract answers from you. Okay. Now, the theory behind this is, the science behind this is, the moment you give an answer to a question, you take ownership of that particular answer. And that is what coaches do. They never advise you on something. Because if somebody will advise you on something, you may or may not take that advice. But once somebody asks you a question and you give an answer, you take ownership of that answer. And that's how coaching works. Who is a teacher? A teacher is somebody who passes on the knowledge that that person has to you. Who is a counselor? A counselor is somebody who can give an advice. So accordingly, choose who your mentor would be, choose who your coach would be, choose who your teacher could be, choose who your counselor could be. Right? So always have one of these people in your lives, and everybody should have a coach or a mentor or a trainer or teacher. Join seminars. Why? To learn how to network, because your network defines what your net worth is. So I have some of these videos on how to network in my YouTube channel as well. You can go through it. Read books. Why? Because as I mentioned, put the right emotion at the right time, the right place to the right person. Join groups. Now always have mastermind groups. Who your mastermind group should be. If you want to become rich, join a mastermind group which is involved with rich people. Who do you think gets promoted in a company? The person who is involved with, the person who spends most of the time with the person who is in charge of that promotion. Now, abhi aap bologe, this person bootlicks a lot, that is why he got a promotion. But actually, that's wrong. That may be right, but most of the time it's wrong, because that particular person is spending most of his time with somebody who has more knowledge than him, who has more expertise than him. And when you spend most of your time with that person, you get to learn as well. With whom do CXOs of the company spend most of their time with? With other CXOs. That's why it's important to be in a mastermind group. and then try, make mistakes, fall down, get up again. Imagine your life when you're happy all the time. Is it something that you would want to tell your kids or your grandkids? I was happy all the time, full stop. That's not something you would want your life to look like, right? You want a story that, at this point of time, you were like, you faced a lot of hardships, and then, you put in a lot of effort. You met so many people. This is what happened. You took a decision in your life. Then that's the way you just took that decision of getting out of that situation. You walked your ass off, and then you came. Would you want such a story, or would you want I was happy all the time, full stop? So always try. There will be ups and downs in your life. Now, the height to which you go up back again is what matters in your life. Value. No matter how much amount of hard work you do, if that does not bring value to somebody, it will not matter. Okay, once you move up the ladder, your judgment is what will give you your compensation. And the more value you give to the company or to somebody or a service that is quantifiable, that is the time you grow up in the ladder in life and the corporate as well. So always add value to people, to others in their lives as well. Lastly, savings. Okay, always, I've showed that slide, right? The financial slide. Start saving as early as possible in your lives. All right, so this has been in a nutshell about whatever I've spoken, and I hope it was an informational session. I hope you all enjoyed this. Any questions? I am game right now. Any questions? You all can type in the comment section. You can unmute yourself, and then you all can ask.
Yeah, in case someone want to ask directly, we can unmute, like people to unmute themselves, but they can put it in chat box.
Hello? Is it beneficial to invest in stocks or through SIPs or PPF? A little bit of everything. You never put everything in one basket, right? So you don't only invest in Bitcoin. You don't only invest in stocks. You don't only invest in PPF. You invest in everything bit by bit. That's how you're supposed to invest. And I am no financial advisor or something, but this is what is recommended to own.
So Mahima is asking about what online courses you suggest us for HR specializations.
For the HR specialization. Okay.
Yes.
So for HRs, there is something called as SHRM, and so that's an online course. They have an SHRM course that is actually beneficial and that is known worldwide. I would recommend you to take that course up. It's a certification basically, not a course. So go for the SHRM certification first, and that is how everything will be taken care of if you complete that certification. Can you suggest some ways to learn more about financial, some courses or something else? So I tell you one thing about finance, operations, marketing, HR. There are a lot of information in Google regarding all of this. And with so much information, I know it gets overwhelming at some point of time. What to look at, whom to talk to, whom not to talk to. So what I do at this point of time is, every day, I read at least half an hour on a set particular topic about what interests me. Okay. Now, as you start reading about that particular topic, what happens is, you know about whether it's fake or no, whether that can be believed or no. You know who the actual influencers are in that particular field, because they know what they have done and they've been doing this for quite a long time. So you know who the influencers are, you can follow those particular influencers. Point number 3, you yourself get to understand about what to give importance to and what not to give importance to. Point number 4, the moment you read something a particular day, explain it to your friend. The moment you explain it to your friend, you will start having doubts yourself about what did I explain to that particular person. And when this happens, you really know that you're actually learning something. So this is how you gain knowledge about anything and everything, through the social media. Okay, questions are shooting up here. So can you elaborate on elevator pitch? So first thing, why is an elevator pitch important? So the elevator pitch is basically a 30-second pitch. It's called an elevator pitch because normally in elevators you happen to meet important people in the corporate sector. I don't know about now, but you always can be involved in certain meetings where you have senior leadership team there. So, and everywhere where there are new people coming into the picture, or there is somebody that people are not aware of, that is the time you give an introduction about yourself. Now, why is that important is companies want to know what are you currently doing, and both personal and professional, so that once they know that you are performing in your, so if your personal life is good, then that gets projected out to your professional life as well. So that is why people are interested in personal lives as well. So your elevator pitch should basically be, what are you currently doing, who you are. So sorry, first is who you are. Okay, what have you done, what is your education, what is your background. Two is, what are you doing currently. And three is the most important part, what are you aspiring to be. Now our generation really do not know what we want to become in life. Whatever is there with us, or we did engineering because our friends did engineering, we are doing an MBA because our friends are doing an MBA. That's not a bad thing, because slowly over time, the moment we explore, we understand which part of engineering we like or which part of management do we like. So whatever you are planning to do, that is more important in your elevator pitch. I hope that cleared it out. I hope that was clear enough. So can you suggest some ideas how to do compounding at our level? Okay, so Kevin is asking me this question. So Kevin, you're not earning right now, but how are you managing your expenses right now? If there is a place that you want to go out in a restaurant with because of a party or something, you ask your parents money, right? You ask your parents money for doing some online course. You ask your parents money for investing. So what you do is take some portion of that money, 20-30%, and put it in your stocks, how much ever is available to you. Once you have a job, you continue on that thing. It's all about saving. You have that mindset of saving at this point of time, because I know many people who still say that मैंने बहुत late start किया है, तो तुम्हारे उम्र में मैं start करता तो मैं तो करोड़पति बन जाता अब तक. So that's what that's the feeling that I do not want you guys to have, especially at this stage of your careers. Top 3 to 5 skills which every student should learn. Okay, now top 3 to 5 skills here should be only regarding the soft skills, the soft aspects. Concentrate, work on your communication skills, work on your time management skills. Now, personally, I do not believe in time management, because you cannot manage time. What you do is manage yourself. You manage your priorities. Now, if you have a lot to do, okay, just write down the list of activities that are there and just concentrate on the top 20% of the activity. If you have 10 tasks to do, just concentrate on the first 2 tasks, because this is something called as the 80-20 principle. And the 80-20 principle works everywhere. Now, the top 2 tasks comprises of 20% of your work, but then it constitutes to 80% of your results. So always focus on the top 20% of activities. So you have communication skills, you have time management, you have negotiations, networking. It's a bomb. These skills are the utmost life skills that I talk about. Like I said, there is absolutely no work in this world that will not involve another fellow human being. Next question. Good morning. How can we tackle with those questions which we are unable to answer in the interview? Hi, Divya. Can you just elaborate on that question? Which questions are you trying to ask about? I'm really not sure. Unable to answer in what aspect? Technical aspects, soft skill aspects, or can Divya just unmute herself and ask this question?
Yes, sir. Good morning, sir. Divya here.
Good morning.
Actually, sir, the technical aspects which I want to ask you.
Okay. So technical aspects, what you could tell here is, for example, they ask you a question and you do not know what the answer is. So what you tell them is, you tell them about what you know, and then you express your interest to learn. And then you tell that it's a learnable skill, and I'm sure if I'm given the opportunity, I will do my best and overcome the skills that you're talking about, learn them at the best pace possible, and not only learn but also apply that at work, which will be beneficial not only to me but the organization as well. So this is how you basically tackle. Your willingness to learn is something that will come across very vividly in your interview. Have I answered that question, Divya?
Yes, sir. Yes. Thank you so much. I got a clear idea. Yeah.
How much value does online courses as compared to offline courses, and same with online and offline internship, and which are preferred more? Okay, so now there are hundreds and thousands of courses all over. Okay, and trust me, I'm being in the HR profession, there are a lot of CVs that come across, and it depends on the certifications and not the courses. Now, the certifications, like I spoke about SHRM for HR, you can talk about PMP for black belt for operations. So I focus more towards certification, because online courses, anybody can do them. The ones that come in Udemy, anybody, I mean, it's just for your knowledge that you do that particular course, and how you apply that knowledge, that is more important. Personally, I don't think Udemy courses, or there are a lot of, I won't take names, but there are a lot of online platforms as well that has come now. Definitely take those courses, but the focus should be on learning at that point of time and not on the certification that you get for that after you complete that course. Good morning. How can we tackle with those questions which we are unable? Okay. I am also investing in stocks. That's why I was interested to know more. Actually, I'm aware of constructing and analyzing business canvas models of company. So can it help in companies to handle business for me at initial level? Okay, Nitanshu, in the beginning, you may or may not be involved in strategic discussions, because at the initial level, the focus of the industries would be more on getting a hands-on experience. You can definitely give them your point of view over an email, and you can definitely talk to your boss. And you can definitely talk to your boss if you have an idea that needs to be put forward. So in the initial levels, if you have great business models, then I mean, it's really good, but this is a certain process. So why do companies want you all to have an hands-on experience? Now, if you're doing an MBA, you're supposed to be involved in marketing, okay, marketing of the product. The marketing involves the end-to-end business, how you're supposed to segment your customers, target your customers, etc., etc., etc. So now to understand the market, you need to have the ground experience of how the market works. So they get involved you in sales. They'll tell you to work in a particular sector, a particular area. Now, once you start selling, then you understand the sentiments, the mindset of the individuals there. And that is why they want you to have an hands-on experience. And then as and when you grow, you'll be involved more towards strategic discussions. You can always ask for being a part of a project, and you can always write an email over to the management team, and they'll definitely take heed of it, because at this point of time, like I told you, everything will be taken note of. Everybody are leaders at this point of time, because trust me, even the government does not have much idea about how to take things forward from you.
Hello, sir.
Yes.
There is this brother of mine who is really working in the industry right now, but actually there is a problem with him that he don't want to do it here, and he really don't like his work. He was just going with the flow. And right now also in this situation, like our main colleges are like teaching us to how to be a perfect employee. And when we become that, and that time we realized that we didn't want to do it. So how can we tackle such situation in the future that time, or can we do something right now in this situation?
Okay, very good question, Prathamesh. May I know how old is your brother?
So he's 25 now.
25. Okay. So this is exactly the reason why I was very much interested in becoming a coach. So our generation is like that. to be frank. We've been brought up in a particular set. This is what I call as conditioning. We were told that, get good marks in 10th, your life is sorted. Then you go to 12th, your life is sorted. Then you do engineering or MBA. And then you work for 30, 35 years of your life. And then you understand this is not what you really wanted. Who did I do all this for? That is why I'm saying, no matter what happens in your life, always follow your passion. Do something for yourself that gives you joy. Now, once you do something that gives you joy, you will definitely do wonders, and you will definitely find a way to monetize it. Now, may I ask what your brother does after his office hours?
So right now he's working from home, but he really likes to sit in our shop. But he don't want to quit his job also. There are really many things going in his mind, but he really don't do anything for that. But he's like just go with the flow right now.
Okay. So I will give an example of myself here. In my early stages of career, I also did not like my job. Now, like I said, there are value systems for the company and there are value systems for the particular person as well. Now, as in when I started understanding my likes and dislikes, I understood that one value system that I really want in my life is clarity. Clarity is really important in my life. So my boss used to give me work and I used to do that work. So I did not enjoy it much. Now, when I understood that clarity is one of the values that I stand for, that I live by, I understood that clarity is something that should be fulfilled in all areas of my life, be it work, professional, family, health, relationship, everything. So what I did was I started asking questions to my boss. Why are we doing this? What impact does it have? Now, once my boss gave me answers for that question, I started to enjoy my job. Because I got clarity as to what work I'm doing, what benefit is it bringing to the company, what impact it has on the organization, who does it have an impact on. So a person, an individual has around 6 to 7 values that they live by. And if those values are not met, that is the time that they feel dissatisfied in whatever they are doing. So for your brother, what I would recommend your brother to do is, he's only 25 and 25 is very young.
Yeah.
At this point of time, you explore for the next 2 to 3 years, explore everything. Keep your job in hand. After office hours is what matters for your brother at this point of time. He does not have a family to take care of. I'm assuming he's not married. Is he married?
No.
Okay. So he's not married at this point of time. So explore. You work only for 8 hours a day. What do you do for the next 8 hours? I'm assuming 8 hours you'll sleep. The rest 8 hours, whatever you do, is you explore. And the moment you explore, you will try to understand what your likes and dislikes are. And you can get in touch with me later and I can help you out if possible.
तो ये तो मेरे भाई के लिए हो गया. मुझे एक सवाल पूछना था कि like in this college हमें like बहुत सारे assignments भी दिए जाते हैं, बहुत सारे work भी दिए जाते हैं. क्या ये literally like future में help करता है हमें like आगे जाके?
असाइनमेंट हेल्प करते हैं कि नहीं फ्यूचर में आगे जाके? दैट्स द क्वेश्चन.
असाइनमेंट्स एंड ऑल, क्योंकि सिर्फ उन्हीं की वजह से हम लोग बाकी चीजों पे भी फोकस नहीं कर पा रहे. लाइक इफ वी हैव क्लैरिटी देन आल्सो वी हैव नॉट much time to do what we want.
Clarity is something that I live by. Your values may be different, your brother's values may be different. Now coming to the question, the assignments. Now what assignments does is it prepares you for all the softer skills.
Okay.
अभी कंपनी में जाके you are given a project which is supposed to you need to make the slides for your customers the very next day. And if there are a lot of assignments, that will keep you awake at night, and where you have to get involved with other people as well if you're working in a team. So you will have to collaborate with your team members, and you need to ask them, you do this part, I'll do this part, you all will do that part, and then you all will spend the whole night for that particular assignment. Moving forward, taking the same thing to the corporate level. Now you have been in that situation before. Imagine if you were not given such assignments in your college, and suddenly in the corporate you're told to finish that presentation in like the next day, and you have only like less than 10 hours to do it. Now, won't you have the confidence to complete it with the group that you're being assigned when you have already done something like this in your college? Wouldn't that help you?
Actually, sir, we have mini projects for that one. Like there are 4 of people come together, create an idea, like take something out of it. Actually, I was asking about the written assignments that college gave us in this situation also.
Assignments are for you to get prepared for the corporate world. Like I said, 25%, the difference between college corporate, 25% in college is practicality. But in your corporate, it will be 100% practical.
Okay.
So trust me, assignments are something that will keep you really, what do you say? They'll make you ready for the corporate. And the struggle that you'll have at that point of time, being late at night, that will give you the confidence to do something like this in the corporate.
So as
It's all about preparing you. For example, let's take school time. Do you remember anything that the teachers have taught you? You may not remember exactly what the teachers taught you, but you'll always remember the stories that they taught you. They told you. Why? Your assignments, you'll not remember the technicalities of the assignments, but you'll always remember the struggle that you had, and that will be a booster for you to work in your corporate.
So
That's
as you said earlier that we don't have to manage time, we just have to manage ourselves. So how do you manage yourself in these situations? Have you any faced situations like this?
So here I would ask about what are your priorities.
Okay.
Okay, know what your priorities are, list down the activities, take the first 20% of the activities, focus on that.
Thank you, sir.
Sir, hello.
Yes, you can call me Nimish. Thank you for giving me so much respect, but I prefer to be called as Nimish.
No, sir, my comfort zone is calling you, sir, for today.
Shoot.
Okay, so sir, the first question I want to ask is, what are the extra things you want us to bring to the table?
Now or where? I mean,
now while recruiting, like if you are a recruiter there and I am coming as a next client for you, yeah. So what are the things you want us to bring to the table? Extra things.
Okay. Every recruiter is different, and in every interview, there is a technical team and the HRs as well. What I look at is only the attitude, to be frank. If you're showing the willingness to learn, it's okay from my side. And then it all boils down to the technical team. So if I see any, if the technical team is okay, and if I feel this person is not in the right mindset to do that particular job, it will be a strict no from my side. You only show the willingness to learn, you only show good attitude during the interview, then it's a yes from my side all the time.
Okay, sir. And so one more question is, what were the barriers you faced to be at this position?
Okay, like I said, point number one, I did not like my job in the beginning. So what did I do? I understood myself better. I started asking questions. One, because that gave me clarity. And two, I did not fear as to what the repercussions would be if I asked a stupid question. I really did not think about whether this question would sound stupid or look stupid, because everybody else was in the same boat as you. You realize that pretty late, but that is something. Just ask questions all the time and be of service to others. Help people so that later when you're in need of help, you don't need to ask for it, you'll just get help from others. So asking questions, removing that fear in myself regarding asking questions, getting clarity, because clarity is really important for me personally. So
does this make a good compact? Like if I'm asking questions again and again, so does it look good? Like doesn't boss irritate नहीं होता है sir उस चीज से कि like अरे हमेशा question, what is this? Impact, the impact is not good, I guess. While I'm asking a question, so.
okay, so I'll just go a little towards the the subconscious mind here a little bit about that science. So if you feel while asking questions that you're being a little itchy or irritative, then that is what will be projected out to your boss. If you ask questions genuinely and if you ask different questions with the eagerness to understand the answer, it will be projected out in that manner to your boss. That's how it works.
Okay, thank you so much, sir.
If you think it's irritating, your manager will think it's irritating. And you can always say, sorry for bothering you, but in a day, please give me 5 minutes of your time just for answering my questions, because I have a lot of questions and this is my first job. So please, everybody will be game. They'll be happy to answer questions.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much.
Good afternoon, sir.
Yes.
Sir, so I have
Thank you for
two
keeping your
questions.
video on. Thank you, Srinivas. Yeah.
So I have two questions for you.
Yeah.
So first is, as you showed in your slide, that 25% in college is practicality. So do you think it should be increased a bit so that when we go into corporate world, it will be easier for us to switch?
No, that I leave it up to the college. I have no say on that. And even if we do 10% in college, that's okay as far as the impact is high. If you increase it to 50%, but the impact is less among the students, then it really doesn't make sense. So I leave it. That's not a question for me. It's a question for the college.
So also, sir, I have a business idea in my mind, and
Okay.
I also have made a 3-year model for it. So I'm ready with the planning and everything, but I have a confusion in my mind that should I go to the corporate world first, do a job for 2 to 3 years, understand how it works, and then go towards my business plan, or should I start from the business plan?
How old are you, Srinivas?
I'm currently 20.
You're only 20. Do both of them together. Don't sleep for days. Sleep for 2 to 3 hours a day. Do both of them together. What's stopping you from doing both of them together?
Nothing.
You're just 20. You can go on for the next 6 to 7 years this way because your body is willing to react that way. Once you're 50, then your body will not. If you don't have sleep, then you will have all the other health issues. But you're just 20. Do both of them together. Understand. Sleep for 2 to 3 hours a day. Because if your business is something that you really have passion, interest on, you will definitely do that after your work, because that's something that you really are looking forward to.
So also, is LinkedIn important? That important that we should make some connections there?
It differs from person to person. Now, if you have 100 people in your close-knit group, and those 100 people are really someone that can give you value, and those 100 people are people that you can give value to and learn from, and you have a group of 1,000 people where only 10 people are like that, which one do you prefer?
One with 100 people.
Correct. So using the social media, it all depends from person to person. What is your ultimate aim in life? Will that social media help you in your cause? Will social media, LinkedIn, something help you in your business that you're planning to? Will it help you get leads in your business? If yes, go for it. If no, it's okay. I'll tell you one thing. So I was not a social media person at all. I was zero in social media. But the moment I became a coach, I understood that I need to have a footprint in the social media. So what did I do? I understood that social media sites like Instagram, YouTube, LinkedIn are the sites that can give me the exposure and reach out to more people. So that is the time I started having a social media footprint. Before a year ago, I was nowhere in social media. I had nothing in social media. But I knew I can further my cause because of social media. So I went for it. The first from person to person.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Hey, hi. I have a question.
Yes.
By the way, hi, my name is Shreyas.
Hi, Shreyas.
So the thing is, since you are from the department of hiring and stuff, right? I have been like, this thing like really concerns me that even though I am formally studying engineering, most of my interests or even my field of work does not lie in engineering as of now. So I'm a writer, I'm a musician, I'm a bunch of other things. So when I'm coming to you as, say, a potential employee, would that how do I put it? Would that affect my chances of getting admitted in your company, or would you choose someone else who is more proficient in the field of engineering than me?
Okay, so I'll give you one example. Godrej Group of Industries, they have corporate competition named as Godrej Loud. Okay, so basically what this is whatever dreams that they have, and they're supposed to pitch their dream and how they are planning to achieve their dream. This is the project. Now the logic behind this thing is, the moment you're passionate about something, that will just translate or project out towards all the other areas of your life as well. So having an area of interest, having been inclined towards music a lot, now while you're doing your thing, your music and writing and everything, it will definitely reflect on your work as well. And I would encourage you to continue doing that for as long as you can, and it should not be a barrier at all. If you're planning to do it seriously, take it forward, finish it off. Don't be in double minds as to नौकरी करना है या music में जाना है, or you can do something that I told Srinivas. Do both of them together. And I'm assuming you also will be in your 20s, early 20s. So you guys just explore, enjoy life. I mean, this is the time.
Fair enough.
Sorry, it won't affect. It won't affect. That's the one word answer.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm opting for HR as my specialization. What would you like me to focus on right now, which will help me to sustain and grow? अच्छा, Kalyani, I have one question. आपको HR क्यों बनना है?
Sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Hello.
Yeah. Please tell me.
Actually, sir, HR is a people's job. So, like, I am interested, and I don't think other fields I'm interested in that much. I'm interested in other fields, but from beginning, the qualities which I see whenever it's in me. I know. Like, I can't explain it, but I know it's in me. I can do it.
So, can you give me an example?
Sir, I think I'm good in handling people. Like you said that the job of HR is to keep everyone happy in the corporate in the office. So I think I'm good at it. I can do that.
Okay, in your interviews, come up with an example for everything that you say.
Sir, right now I'm a class representative of my division.
Okay.
So I think I'm good at handling responsibilities, and I'm good at handling people as a whole. Yeah.
So again, I would like to say, Kalyani, one more thing. Just come up with an example when you're claiming to be like something, or some example that can justify the statement that you're making. All right.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm applying for an engineering related job, but most of my experiences are from the field of psychology, writing, culinary department, etc. Would this serve me as a leverage, or would it be a loss? What do you really want to do, Shreyas? That's the question that you need to ask yourself. Sir, is it important to have a certificate to prove your skills? Can we learn skill from someone or some platform? And after practicing, you believe you have better understanding and skills, it's execution. Without certificate, how can I make company aware that I actually have those skills? So see, like I told before also, courses, I really do not I'm not a pro courses person, but I'm a pro certification person. But it's all purely, the only reason that you're supposed to do courses is to get some knowledge and understand it. How are you supposed to portray it to your company? Prove to the management what you've already done, and then make your CV according to that. Examples are really important. Now, if I come and say I'm a great individual with so and so skills, why would anybody believe me? Because I need to have but nobody would believe me at that point of time. I need to have an example to back it up. Most private are being forced to do work from home, so the working hours are not limited and they are demanding workers to do goal-based work irrespective of time. Isn't it injustice on worker as per your knowledge? So Shubham, great question. Here you need to set your priority state with the organization. Work from home does not mean that you're supposed to work overtime. Work from home means you're giving your full to the company from 9 to 5, and then it's your personal time. You need to be very clear to the organization regarding this, and you are most welcome to take leaves as well while working from home. How to stay focused on your career? It all, Shubham, all these questions boil down to what you actually need in life. That is why I'm saying explore. The moment you explore, you like, for example, if I ask you कौन सा खाना पसंद है तुम्हें, बिरयानी पुलाव क्या पसंद है, most of them will tell mood के ऊपर depend करता है. But and if I ask you what are the things that you really love doing, you'll be like, हाँ ये भी पसंद है, ये भी पसंद है, वो भी पसंद है, ये भी पसंद है. So you need to give it an option. What would you opt for at that point of time? Knowing yourself is really important. So ultimately, how to stay focused on your career. Now, for example, let's take an example. You personally like mountaineering and your friend personally likes the beaches. Now, if your friend goes to the beach, would you want to go to the beach or would you want to go to the mountain for mountaineering? So you know that mountaineering is something that you love doing. So that is why you preferred a mountainous area. This is just an example. So it doesn't matter what your friends or your family are doing. What is important to you is what matters. So that's something that I would say. What do you really want from your career? Is it a business? Is it serving through a corporate? Is it something that you want to do something very different that other people are doing? What is it that you want? The moment you get an answer to this, you automatically stay focused in your career.
Sir,
yes.
What is good, like having some options or having the clarity on only one thing?
Can you elaborate that question, please?
मतलब like options होना जो है वो अच्छा है, या फिर हमने किसी भी एक ऑप्शन के साथ स्टिक होकर उसी से like clarity उसी ऑप्शन के साथ होना अच्छा है? मतलब एक ही चीज को लेके आगे बढ़ना या फिर ढेर सारे ऑप्शंस होना? Like you said earlier, like clarity is also important.
Okay. Do you know the story of Colonel Sanders, the KFC guy?
No.
Okay. So how much time do we have, Shrikant? Is there time or?
Yeah, we have time, sir. No issue.
Okay. So Colonel Sanders was a person who had faced a lot of difficulties in his life early on. He lost his newborn son at the age of 23, I guess. He left his family. He had to take care of his own siblings. His mother got divorced, and the person that his brother-in-law basically said that he's a no good fellow, and he changed jobs 4 to 5 times. He was just hustling throughout, and then on the day of his retirement, he got a check at the age of 65, I guess, 60 or 65, and then he decided that he wanted to go for suicide. So what he did at that point of time was he took a letter and he wrote what all are the things that he could have done over the past 65 years of his life. Then he understood that he could have started a business of his own, and there was a certain recipe that was his grandmom's recipe, and then he decided, why not give it a try at the age of 65.
Yeah.
So then he went from door to door to restaurant owners. He said, hi sir, this is my recipe. I'm giving you this recipe for free. All I'm asking you to do is, I just want a certain percentage profit share from this. That's all I'm asking for. Nothing else. Just take my recipe, make it in your restaurant, and now he did this once, he did this twice, he did this thrice. How many times do you all think he tried? He got rejected each time. Anybody, any guesses? How much time do you all think he tried? How many times?
50 to 60 times.
50 to 60 times. Anybody else? Any guesses? Any wild guess?
100 times.
100 times. Okay. I'll tell you what. He did this 1,009 times. 1,008 times he got rejected. The 1,009th time, somebody accepted his recipe. And see what he has built over the next 15, 16 years. Now, this guy, Colonel Sanders, has only one thing in mind. To be frank, every one of us, including me, would have given up after 20 times. नहीं हो पाया 20 घर गए हम लोग बिका नहीं मटेरियल प्रोडक्ट जो भी है so why would you start you will start doubting your recipe right at that point of time. He did not give up. He had only one thing in his mind. He wanted to start a restaurant business or he wanted to sell his recipe. So he just went on and on and on. What do you think might have happened once he failed the 1,009th time? He would have gone for the 1,010th time, 1,011th time until it is approved by somebody. But what he did here was he took the inputs of the earlier potential customers and then he revised his pitch and then he pitched again. That is something that you learn from your mistakes. So he had only one thing in mind. So whoever's question this was, I hope I answered this question by giving this example. He had one thing in mind, he did not give up.
Yeah. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. So was this session meaningful? Was it helpful in any way? I mean, just wanted a feedback from you guys.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. So just one last
It was
question.
helpful in every way.
Thank
Not
you so
any way, it was every way.
Thank you so much.
So I had a last question. So you talked about giving examples while we are in an interview. So sometimes we have some examples, but we don't have the proof to show that we have done this or that work. So is it okay if we don't show the proofs?
It's okay to not show the proofs, but you need to have an example as to what you have done. You've lived for 20, 21 years of your life. Don't you think there would have been one example, one situation that you could have come across? Dig deeper.
Okay, sir.
There will be. Hey, कुछ भी वॉलीबॉल मैच का बताओ जो स्कूल में किया था, फुटबॉल मैच का बताओ जो गए थे. We can talk about anything. There just needs to be an example.
Hello, sir. This is Nitanshu. Sir, one last question.
Yeah.
Sir, in organization, suppose we go, so is it better to be a specialist or to be a generalist? Because मतलब एक चीज के बारे में अच्छा मालूम होना लगता है या सब चीजों you have to be a master of all or a specialist?
Good question. This is something that even I'm digging an answer for. But looking at all the influencers right now, looking at how the business is going right now, it's important to go deeper rather than broader. This is what I have come across, but this may or may not be right. But again, I am also looking for an answer regarding this. But all influencers say you need to dig deeper rather than broader. So
yes, sir.
That's something that I would say. Because specialists cannot be replaced easily. Somebody who is a generalist can be replaced easily. And that's readily available in Google. For example, if you want to get to know about a certain topic, how much would you read regarding that topic? For 1 week max? If you're a specialist, you would go through that for a year. That's what Elon Musk does. He goes deeper. Elon Musk is a master at reducing costs of the raw materials or something. He makes raw materials from scratch to reduce the cost. So he digs deeper. So some examples that tell that you need to go deeper. Cater to a smaller audience, it's okay. But the smaller audience will give their everything to you. I'm talking about if you're going for a business.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Actually, even you quoted about Elon Musk. So I am a great fan of Elon Musk, and actually he uses a theory known as first principle theory. So actually, when any kind of product he wants to make or something like that, he asks the very basic truth that why we need this product or what is the basic things it is going to serve, and from there he builds the analogy from one by one, and then I think this innovation starts.
Yes, true. He digs deeper. Yeah, I think you answered your question.
Yes, sir.
All right, then. I think we had many questions. I hope all the students have, understood their scenario, and the respective questions and the answers given by Nimish sir is quite good. I hope you guys have enjoyed the session as well. And I'll take this platform to thanks again for the Nimish sir to accepting our invitations
Thank
and
you so much
during
for
this
inviting
wonderful
me.
session. And with this platform itself, I'd like to elaborate that what practices as a MIT group we are practicing with respect to the values that we talked about, then the life sets about the inside the college door and the outside the college door that we talked about with respect to college and the corporate. That's a wonderful thing that students have might came across, because these are some of the students are from the final year, some are going to be in the final year. So that will helpful them. That will be a great learning for things from their perspective. We are also like to thank you about delivering this session. I'll now like to over it to Shrikant sir if you want to add some points. Over to you, Shrikant sir.
Right. Thank you, Nimish sir. It was indeed a great session. I hope, in fact, you must have enjoyed discussing a lot with our students.
I personally enjoyed a lot. Thank you so much for inviting me.
It seems like I was closely observing. It was completely looks like a career webinar wherein students were discussing, and then knowing like you both know each other from long time. So that comfort zone was really appreciable.
Thank you
Thank
so
you very
much.
much, sir. In fact, we will take this opportunity to invite you once things get normal to our campus, the beautiful campus of ADT University, and to explore further things, how we can have further collaborations for mutual convenience with each other. So it's a really great pleasure to host you here, and hopefully we look forward to host you at campus at the convenience and things get normal.
Thank you so much. I'm eagerly waiting for that day. And I've also enjoyed my session. It's been an interactive session. A lot of questions were asked. And thank you so much. It's always good to have an attentive audience. And thank you
so
for
also
asking me
we are
so many
looking
questions.
forward to have you on 5th of May. I'm waiting for your confirmation.
Sure. I'll try my best.
Yes. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Right, Nimish sir.
So I think Shrikant sir should be in this session now.
Yeah. Nimish sir, we then take your leave. Thanks for joining. Everyone take care.